Hi everyone, my name is Jay. I'm one of the co-founders and chief strategy officer for SENTBE, which is essentially a global cross-border FX solution. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. Is it just me or is it white? Oh, okay. That's next. But it's okay. So we started off as a mission statement to basically eliminate the inefficiencies of FX cross-border payments. And essentially, currently we're live in Korea, Singapore, Indonesia, soon to be in US as well. And our addressable market is basically just humongous. Next slide, please. And who are using these services is that migrant workers or international students, overseas travelers before COVID were the customers or C2C remittance users versus for payments. There's import-export companies, e-commerce companies, online education companies, online travel agencies, so on and so forth. Next slide, please. But the problem is that even with this humongous traffic, it's expensive, it's slow, it's inconvenient, and the receiving channels are limited to banks. Next slide, please. So SENTBE came in to solve these problems. One of the problems, well, obviously, we're making the expensive fee cheaper, the inconvenient process easier, slow, faster, and limited channels more diverse. But the one thing I want to highlight is that not only is it more cheaper than the incumbents, but is that it's more transparent. So a lot of fees are hidden for banks in overseas transfers, but we transparently basically disclose the fees and how it's constituted. In addition, the slow processing fee becoming real-time through SENTBE is a huge factor because imagine if you're sending $1 million and it takes 2-3 days, and then after 2-3 days, the FX changed. Now you're open to FX risk, but because of the real-time transfers, we're able to eliminate the FX risk. Next slide, please. So we identified 4 key success factors, which is license, FX management, partnership, and technology. Next slide, please. Essentially, this industry is both a FinTech as well as a RegTech or regulatory technology. And with these 4, we'll go into the details of the license FX management and so on and so forth. But with these key success factors, we've launched a C2C platform, a B2B platform, and something called SENTBE, which is basically an API or software as a service for financial institutions as well as corporates to automate their mass payments for cross borders. Next year, we're launching our payment gateway, which may remind you of something like Stripe, and our card insurance, which is basically our collaboration with Visa. So I'll kind of flip through the key success factors, but next slide, please. Currently, we have C2C and B2B cross-border license for in Korea as well as Singapore. In Singapore, we have the PSA Major Payment Institution license. Next slide, please. Secondly, in terms of FX management, we have an in-house developed automated FX hedging system that automatically hedges our internal FX liquidity as well as our customers or clients. And we also have partnerships with diverse financial institutions in order to minimize the cost for conversion of FX. Next slide, please. Third, we have more than 50 plus partnerships worldwide that gives us capability to basically pay out anywhere in the world. Next slide, please. And in the tech side, we have something called microservice architecture, basically a modularized structure so that we can be agile in terms of expansion and partnership integrations. Next slide, please. These are our key members. The top 3, Alex, Jay, and Ten, we're the co-founders. And we also have Justin, our CFO. And actually, I want to highlight one thing, which is on the next slide. So this is our Singapore team right now. Actually, Cecile's located in Korea, but she's part of our team. So I'm the only Korean here, but Shu, who we recently brought, or no, I wouldn't say stole, but brought over from Revolut, which is one of the huge unicorns. She's a chief compliance and legal officer who's doing a fabulous job in getting all our systems compliant. And Sean, who's also from Singapore, he's the BD manager. Going around doing FI sales and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. So we were founded in 2015, and in 2021 early, we launched, I guess, like a kind of like a testing bed for Singapore and Indonesia. And we've been getting constant feedback from our customers and clients. And 2022, we'll be launching in US as well. Next slide, please. Until now, we've accumulated more than $2 billion worth of total payment volume. And what's more important than that is that our customers saved more than $80 million. So to put this into perspective, I actually did a comparison between DBS and, I shouldn't have said that, DBank and W Company. So if you're sending, let's say you're a startup, maybe even in this event that's sending from Singapore to Korea, and you're sending, let's say, $1 million to your suppliers, compared to compared to W Company, every $1 million you send, you're saving an iPad. And in comparison to DBank, actually, you're saving every $1 million you send in fees, you're saving a Rolex or a 1.3 carat Tiffany diamond ring. I actually searched the price for it. Next slide, please. So while our program here, we have accumulated more than 5 million Sing dollars in the 6 weeks of program, and also accumulated more than 45 clients, which are some corporate, some financial institutions. And in terms of partnerships, some are done, some are ongoing, where we're actively been able to connect to some of the communities as well as companies that can potentially give us help. So we're saying our target is like that. Next slide, please. Early this year, actually, we've so far accumulated $17.6 million in investment. But what we're doing right now is not to secure funds, but actually we want to take the opportunity for startups who want to expand into Singapore in this event, as well as anyone else, to have a talk with us to see what Tiffany rings or iPads that you can save in fees, I believe. Next slide, please. I believe that's it.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. My email is at j@sentbe.com.